Alright, so this video is an instructional video for how to create mobility and stability within the pelvic area, the knees, as well as the ankles, and to also create stability in the core to reduce pain and improve performance. So the first thing I'm going to do is do a hip flexor stretch. So what you do is you're going to put one leg pretty far back, bring another leg forward like this, and you want to make sure that your leg isn't turned out. You want to make sure your back leg is straight forward in alignment with your pelvis and your core. What you're going to do is you're going to lean forward. And stretch out. The hip flexor. Now you can't have the front leg straight ahead like this. If you need to turn it out in order to get more range, you can do that too. But just be aware that you could lose range of motion. Make the hip flexor stretch less effective. Okay. So that's the hip flexor stretch. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to stretch out the glutes. We're going to take basically your legs past the range of motion of a deep squat. So what you're going to do, we're going to do 3 different stretches here on the floor for this. So bring one leg forward about to where your shoulder is. You're going to basically sit right into it. You'll see the angle better on the other side. So you can move around with the joint as well, and if you pick your back knee up and then sit into it, you can get a deeper stretch. After you do that, you're going to bring your right shoulder to your left foot, and you're going to take your elbow, put it against your shin on the inside. You're going to turn outwards as well. I was trying to sit deep into that stretch. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to put your foot forward, right in front of your other knee, so my foot is in alignment with my knee. Basically, you're just going to sit into this. This is a nice piriformis stretch. Just try to relax. After you sit into that, you can lean to the left. And again, put your elbow on your inner shin. Don't rotate the hips. Just look away or pushing that leg away. The next one, you're basically going to try to have your leg completely sideways while you being completely straight forward, as opposed to your leg being like this. You're going to try to turn your leg sideways and have it flat on the mat like this while you being forward like this. So it's going to bring your leg forward like this. If your whole thigh can touch the mat, great, but if not, it's still pretty good. So don't round your back because it's actually not going to stretch anything. What you want to do is make sure your back is straight and then pull your hips down, starting at your lower back. You should be able to feel that. So basically sit in your leg and try to flatten your leg out against the floor while keep completely straight like this. And one more time, you're going to bring your head this way. Basically keep your pelvis straight. And touch your head to the mat. Let's do the other leg real quick. Bring that knee up. Bring the foot in. Stretch for piriformis. Put the elbow into the shin. Get the leg flat. It's probably a better angle of it. So this next stretch is going to help internally rotate the legs and help fix the external rotation that a lot of people have with their legs. You tend to see people walk bow-legged, and when they're sleeping, they'll feel kind of just an aching feeling in their hips. Instead of open up their hips, they'll put a leg or two up, keep one leg out or both legs up. They'll have to sleep sideways in order to help alleviate that tension in the hips. So this will help with that. What you're going to do is put your feet wide apart like this. I'm just going to bring the legs in together like this. You can have someone help you do it, but the best range of motion is an active range of motion. It's a range of motion that you can pull yourself into, because that's functional range of motion. If you have a good passive range of motion, which means someone pushes you into that like this with their hands, that's good, but real stability and joint health comes from having an active range of motion and be able to put weight on something and then be able to be flexible still. All right, so this next one's going to look a little weird, but this is a groin stretch. It also helps create foot stability and stretch out the hips again. So put the feet pretty wide and pretty far turned out. Oh, probably about, 135 degrees, 150 degrees. Not too far out though. So about from midfoot to midfoot, 3 to 4 feet. What you're going to do is you're going to sit down into the stretch like this, and then put your forearms on your legs. Make sure your foot arches are activated. You want collapsed-in feet. Just going to open up the legs while sitting here. And what this does is that it creates stability in your hips while also opening up your groin. Like I said, being able to stretch under weight and having functional flexibility under weight while stabilizing your muscles is key. Because if muscles tighten up whenever you're performing, whether that's walking or deadlifting or anything, it doesn't matter if you have good passive range of motion. You have to be flexible while also being stable at the same time, not one or the other. Okay. And if you can't do that, that's completely fine. This is a completely acceptable stretch too. So as you can see, you're going to take your hips and open them up as much as you can. I don't know if you can see. Well, that's good enough. So just bring your hips as far apart as you can. Legs straight back. Just gonna sit down. Make sure your butt's sticking out. You don't want it rounded down. Stick that butt out, up in the air. You're gonna, while sticking the butt out, keep your legs really far apart and just push back. You're gonna feel a real good, painful stretch. Well, it should be comfortable, uncomfortable, but not painful. Oh. Oh. That's a good one. So the next stretch we're going to do is just a simple touch your toes. So this is best to do barefooted. Make sure you have a good foot arch activation. You want your feet collapsed in. Make sure to use the outside of your leg to activate that arch. You should always try to activate that arch, not only while stable, while standing, but also while walking. So feet about hip width apart. Keep your legs locked. Just touch the ground. This also stretches out the lower back. And bonus point, see if you can get your hands completely on the ground. If you want to do some PMF stretching, what you can do is after you stretch for about 10 seconds, unlock your legs and contract the hamstrings in isometric contraction as hard as you can. Lock your legs again. Bend your legs again, contract them again. You can do as many times as you like. About 10 seconds of stretching to 6 seconds of contracting. All right. So this next stretch is just a simple ankle stretch. This is best on with shoes because your heel can dig into the ground. That can kind of hurt. But I don't feel like putting on my shoe. So what you're going to do is you're going to ratchet your foot up onto the wall as high as you can get, almost flat against the wall completely. And then make sure your foot isn't collapsed in. Make sure your foot's turned down. You should see a nice arch in your foot. Just going to walk up against the wall while maintaining that arch. Keep that leg locked, because the calf inserts into the back of your knee as well as into your ankle, so it stretches both sides. See a nice foot arch. Don't let the foot collapse in. Keep it rotated out. Have a nice foot arch activate. You want your calves to be flexible and your ankles to be flexible while that foot arch is activated. Because if you're flexible only with your foot arch collapse, that's not helpful at all. Once you activate your foot muscles, you're going to tighten right back up, and all that flexibility you gain is going to be lost. Mobility with stability. Yep, foot's digging into the floor, that's why I want shoes on, but you get the idea. And then the next stretch, just a simple quad stretch, so just put one arm against the wall like this. You grab your ankle, and just like the calf, the quad inserts into your hip as well as into your knee and overlaps over both. So it's good not just to pull your ankle to your butt, but also to pull the leg back as well. You feel a deep stretch under all your quad muscles, inserting into your hip when you do that. Then grab your ankle. Make sure your leg isn't rotated outward like this, but it's straight. And then just one last stretch here. We're starting to get into the stability work here. So this is just a simple yoga move. Pretty simple, but it's just a half wheel. Don't worry if you can't do this right now, but this is a multi-segmental extension. So basically what's going to do is going to use extension with your whole body. So when you get your feet pretty close to your butt and your hands pretty close to your head. And you're just going to push up. And you can do a half point where you lift up, put your head against the ground. And then push up. You can do that for reps too. And if you're really strong and stable, you can do that with one leg. All right, the next one you're gonna do is just a deep squat. Try not best to do this on a soft mat, do this on a hard floor. So, you're just gonna put your feet about shoulder width apart, slightly turned out. Equal weight on both. Make sure to pass your knees pretty far forward and keep your back straight. And sit at the bottom of this for a while. If you want to, you can stretch your ankles out at the bottom of this too. This is a great stretch for that. And just moving around in general at the bottom really helps open up the hips too, because you're creating stability with mobility in play. There's that. And if you do about 3 sets of 12 with that too, that's good for strengthening the stability of your hips and your core as well. And the next one's pretty simple. This is just a split squat. You're going to keep the feet pretty much right in front of each other. But if you have trouble with that, you can open it up to create a little bit more stability. But you're both standing at the feet pretty much right in front of each other, just a few inches from each other. So keep the hips straight. You're going to want to make sure that you go down straight. Have this knee touch the floor without rotating inward or having your leg collapse in. And again, keep your foot arch activated the whole time. Sure, the other side as well. Also, make sure your back foot doesn't collapse inward or it looks outward like that. So no weirdness, just nice and straightforward. Now the next one's pretty hard. So this is a one-legged, stiff-legged deadlift. So I often do this with some sort of guide next to me. I just do a few reps. I just got done working out. This one's gonna be hard. This is harder because you don't have both feet on the floor. It's just one. This is what you're gonna do. You want to basically do a stiff-legged deadlift. And your leg's going to be almost completely locked, but not all the way. About right there. And then you're going to straight forward, making sure your leg's not turning out or going inward. It's just going to go straight back. Make sure your torso doesn't turn anyway either. You just want it to be nice and straight. This is hard when you're tired. This is hard to do when you're fresh. But if you can't do it, like I can't do it right now, just hold on to something and make sure you're not putting your whole weight on it, but just using it to stabilize yourself. So you'll start getting strength and stability in your hips, and also this will create mobility while putting weight on it, which is a good thing. And once you progress in things, you can start doing lunges as well. And then you can start doing one-legged deadlifts with weight. But once you start doing with weight, you probably still want to hold on to this, to the guide rail like this. But that's basically it for now. Just do that, do the compound movements, squats, deadlifts, bench press, standing military press, chin-ups, bent over rows, dips, any of those, lunges, one-legged deadlifts. All those movements together will help create stability throughout your body. Just make sure you do right form. I'll have your full workout for you too pretty soon, Yana. But this is just some stretching and mobility work that you can do. To help. Oh, I almost forgot one more exercise. Let's see if I can do this on this. So, all right. So this one is just hip thrusts. So you put your back against like a bench or a chair. What you're gonna do is swing your left out at the top. Your lower leg should be perpendicular to the floor, like this. Now, don't activate your quads because you're gonna start sliding back. So you're gonna have like a tension between your quads and your hamstrings to keep that your back perfectly in place on the bench, not sliding forward or sliding backwards. Also, make sure you lift your feet off the floor and just have your heels in the floor, because if you have your balls of your feet where your toes are against the floor, you can activate your quads, start pushing backwards. So you can get it with a barbell and just put a pad on it. You can get it with a dumbbell, a kettlebell, or you can just do it with one leg and make it harder. So, just like this. When I get to the bottom, I usually stick my leg out. When I get to the top, I bring the leg up. And you do that leg and you're good to go. All right, that's it for now. Peace.